Stop here in Georgia. The president upended the final weekend of campaigning with a call asking the Secretary of State's office and the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, to find votes for him in Georgia's November election.
The call was more than an hour long. It happened on Saturday. President Trump urged Republican Secretary of State Raffensperger to recalculate the vote in his favor.
The people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
The president also mentioned a debunked theory that Georgia election officials and the Dominion voting machine company tampered with ballots. Critics call this a matter of crossing the line, calling it an abuse of power.
In an interview tonight with our chief investigator, the Secretary of State did not hold back.
Brendan Keefe live at the state capitol. He has more details.
Yeah, Jeff and Cheryl, this extraordinary 1 hour plus phone call. It's just amazing. You hear the president ask not just to find more votes, but to find a specific number of votes, exact number that would flip the election to him. And what's even more amazing is this call almost stayed secret. If the president hadn't tweeted and tweeted something that was false, would we have ever heard that call recording?
No, it was a private conversation as far as I was concerned. And he broke privacy when he put out a tweet, but then his tweet was false. If President Trump wouldn't have tweeted out anything and would have stayed silent, we would have stayed silent as well. And that would have just been a conversation between him and I, man to man, and that would have been just fine with us. But he's the one that couldn't, had to put it out on Twitter. And so if you're going to put out stuff that we don't believe is true, then we will respond in kind.
Was there any agreement that this call was not going to be recorded or would be kept confidential?
No, there was no agreement, and we didn't know what the purpose of the call really was. We assumed it was about the November election.
The Secretary of State says the call was hastily arranged by the White House after the president saw Brad Raffensperger on television.
I was on Fox News Saturday morning, and he didn't like what I said because I said that we ran a fair, honest election in Georgia, and I explained how he lost the election.
In your opinion, was a crime committed on that call by anyone?
I'm an engineer. The lawyers, they'll debate both sides of that coin.
Are you considering calling in the GBI or any outside investigator to examine this call?
No, I don't think that would be appropriate and not needed at this time. I think after this election's over, after we complete Wednesday, January 6th, I think then, emotions will then be able to really get back to normal levels. And I think that would be the best thing for all of us and the best thing for America.
Just an extraordinary interview there with Georgia's Secretary of State. This is supposed to be the boring job that you're elected to. He has been thrust into the national spotlight, and he is trying to hold firm, saying this is no longer good old boy Georgia, where things are done in backroom deals.
Yeah, nothing is boring about American politics right now, that's for sure.